Hello, today I'm going to show you how to publish an application to the Hyperware App Store and describe some of the current best practices and trade-offs involved with publication. So in order to have your application always available for download, you're going to need a mirror that's online all the time. So if you have a node that's hosted on a VPS that you own, then you can use that as your publisher and you won't need to do a lot of the steps that I'm going to describe here. But if you have a node that you want to use as a mirror that is hosted on our hosting service, then a lot of these best practices will be relevant to you. You'll see why as we get into the video. Our hosting service is at valet.hyperware.ai, and you can log in with a variety of different services. Here I'll log in with my X login. And what's great about this service is your node can always be online, but a downside is we hold onto the keys that own the node. So what that means is you cannot actually publish applications to the chain because you don't have the keys to do so. So how do you get around that? Well, you can have a local node like nick.hyper over here on the left, publish to that node, and then have your mirror be the hosted node. So that way you have the convenience of publishing locally and the uptime of having your mirror on our hosted service. So how do we do that? How do we even publish in the first place? Now, I should say there is an App Store publish page, so that is one way to go and publish. I'm going to show you the Kit publish flow, but just be aware you can go through the node front end and find the publish page by going to the App Store, and then there's a publish tab on the top, and that flow should be self-explanatory. Let's go through the flow here. You're going to need to have some of this information regardless for publishing on or via the App Store front end. So I have here a fully functional application, a package, recipe decider. I have this metadata.json file. This is going to be quite important. And let's do a kit build first. So kit build will, at the end of the build, output a hash. That hash is important. We need to have that hash in our metadata.json file. The reason is that we're going to be publishing our metadata.json file on chain, and others are going to download that metadata.json file and use the hashes that are within to determine whether when they get so they download the app itself off-chain over the Hyperware network, but to determine if that's actually the correct application that they're getting and not some, for example, malware that some scurrilous third party is claiming is the application that you actually wanted. We have this hash that's going to be published on chain that users can, or rather the App Store under the hood, will check and make sure that the application matches. So in our metadata.json file, we're going to put as our code hashes here that hash that is output by kit build. Now here I'm going to actually be doing an update to an application as opposed to a fresh publication, but the flow is the same. You'll notice if you're looking closely that these hashes are actually the same. In general, they'll be different. The reason why they're the same here is I'm just going to be doing a trivial update to the metadata.json file itself as opposed to an update to the app content. The metadata.json file does not go into the app content. It gets published on chain. And so that's why this hash hasn't changed. But in general, it will change. So we need to put in our code hashes the version. We need to make sure that our current version is matching what our code hashes says it is. And then we're going to need, here, the change that I'm going to make is I'm going to add a description. So the description is for when you can't decide on dinner. Okay, so this application, we'll see it in full later. But okay, so we have updated that, and let's put our GitHub URL here for the external URL as well. Why not? Okay, so we've made our updates. We can look at our git diff, and indeed it is just changing the version, adding the code hashes for that new version, updating the URL, and updating the description. Okay, cool. Let's add this commit. We'll say update metadata.json and then we will push this to remote. Now, what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to do two separate things. The first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to install the new version of the application on our publisher. So here I have nick.hyper, that's our publisher. Actually, let's go look at the metadata.json file again before we continue on. So here in the metadata.json, we have our publisher specified, nick.hyper. That's going to be the node that is actually responsible for publishing the application. And then we're going to have our mirrors. These are nodes where others can go and download the application from. At least one of these mirrors needs to be online for people to be able to download the application. If none of these mirrors are online, people cannot download the application. That's why it's so important to have one of the mirrors be either on a VPS that you host yourself or on our hosted service. So here we have as the mirrors the publisher itself, as well as this hosted node, nickludwig.os. So I'll show you how that gets installed in a moment, and then a few others. Just you know, more mirrors is better. So we're going to first install the application itself onto our publisher. So if we do kit s, and then my node happens to be running at 9090, then we can see App Store sys successfully installed recipe decider. Okay, great. That's all off-chain. Now we're going to do the on-chain part. We're going to publish. How do we publish? We can use kit publish, kit p. Alternatively, like I said, you can go through the App Store front end. I'm not going to show you that part of the flow, but I am going to show you an important step, one more important step that you're going to need to see to publish on that flow. So let's go over that before we look at kit publish too deeply. So here I'm hosting a copy of my code on GitHub, and that includes the metadata.json file. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to, when we publish, provide a static URL link to the metadata.json file. If you're hosting it on GitHub, it's a public GitHub. It's a natural place to point to the URL to. Otherwise, you can host it anywhere as long as it's a static URL for a given version. So here, how do I do that for GitHub in particular? I go and look at my file. I need a static URL. So this URL that we have is referring to the head of master or main, and that means that when I push a new commit with a new metadata.json file, it will get updated. So I need to go to the commit itself here, f08, and then go to the file, metadata.json. And then I can go and have a static URL, f08. If I go to raw, this is what I need. I need just the file itself, not the website, just the file. So whether I'm using GitHub, you can use that method I just showed you, or you can host the file somewhere that is static that will always be accessible. If this thing is not accessible, then your application will not be available for download. Because what we're going to do is we're going to publish on-chain this URL where this file is hosted, and then the hash of this file. So when other people's app stores index the chain, they're going to see, oh, okay, I should go look up this URL. They're going to pull down this file. They're going to compare this file to the hash that is also posted on chain, and they're going to see, okay, that is the correct metadata.json file. Then they're going to go, and if the user asks to download the file, they're going to go and ask each of these mirrors in turn, hey, do you have this file? The first one that says yes, for example, nickludwig.os, will return the copy of the file that it has, and then your app store is going to compare the code hash here against what is returned. If it's valid, it will allow you to install it. If not, it will just not allow it at all. Okay, so we have the URL. Let's go look at kit publish, kit p for publish. So we're going to need the metadata URL. That's what we just figured out. This is the same for the App Store front end method of publishing. So if you're using the App Store method, you're free to go. Everybody else, we're going to walk through kit publish here. Metadata URL, RPC, and then directory. This is the same as kit build or kit start package. So this is just going to compare, the metadata that we have locally to the URL that you gave, just to make sure that everything's checking out. There's no mistakes being made here. Then, in addition, you're going to need to provide a path to your keys. So you can provide a hardware wallet, or you can use a key store. A key store is a standard way of storing a private key It's encrypted on your hard drive, and so this is another option aside from a hardware wallet. If you want to use MetaMask or something, use the App Store front end. As far as other options that we'll need to pass -e or --real. So let's go ahead and publish this thing. Kit publish. Okay. So here we have our URL. I'm just going to use a pre-populated command that I have here. I'm going to put my URL here, and then I'm going to say use Trezor, use this RPC, and it's on the real network as opposed to the fake network. So it's not a test, it's actually on the live network. So if we do kit publish, this will set up to send a transaction. It's going to be very loud for Trezor. Apologies for that. We will fix that. But I'm going to go ahead and set up to sign this in just one moment. Please bear with me as I work off screen. Okay. So things are happening. We are getting ready to sign. Okay. We are signing. Okay, and away it goes. Transaction sent. We can open this link and see our transaction. And you actually see in nick.hyper kicking off auto update for recipe decider nick hyper. So there is indeed one person who has installed recipe decider nick hyper. And so we are giving them that auto update because we just published a new version. Here's the transaction showing the publication. We can go to the App Store. Let's go to the App Store on this hosted node. And if we go to the App Store here, we're going to see Recipe Decider here. We have this new description for when you can't decide on dinner. That's from the new metadata that we just published. And we can go and we actually have this app already installed. It looks like we have an old version. Okay, sorry, that was just a little auto update display bug. It looks like because our version is actually fully updated. Let's imagine that we didn't already have this thing installed. So if we have it uninstalled, we're going to need to do one more important step after publishing this thing on our publication local node. We're going to need to go to our hosted node or our VPS. We're going to need to go and download that application through the App Store. So here, find the application, download it. The reason being, we're going to need to download this thing onto our mirror node, and then we're going to need to actually, looks like we got a bug there. Okay, we'll fix that bug. You need to actually download the application to the mirror node, and then okay, there's one more thing we need to do. This is very important. We go to My Apps and Advanced, and then Recipe Decider. We need to say Start Mirroring. By default, we will not be mirroring. So make sure that you are setting mirroring to yes. Otherwise, your node will reject requests to download the application from you. And with that, we now have one mirror setup that is going to have guaranteed uptime on our hosted service. And we can go check out our app. Let's go see what's for dinner. We have a variety of different recipes here that we have loaded in, some different fast food options. And we can add more if we want. We can roll, and looks like it's French fries from McDonald's this evening. So, enjoy that, and thanks for listening, and look for more content in the future. Thanks. Bye.